Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be walking you through a new composition I wrote this week. Um, I was asked kind of on short notice this week if I could play for the church that we attend. And they wanted me to play one of my pieces during communion. And they had requested piano. I have plenty of songs that would easily do a piano and trombone, but um, I didn't have. I didn't bother asking if that would be a better situation, and then the sound guy who works for the church would have to also get his microphone set up, and then there's the broadcast and everything like that. So I just kind of thought, why don't I just keep this simple on everybody else's end and see if I can come up with something else, because I don't really have anything like that on piano specifically that's nice and easy listen. So I just took a stab at it. And so since it's short notice and I don't have a ton of time myself, I wrote this song in the fashion that I usually write a lot of this same type of music for my trombone, which is just a lot of these basic chords, and then just a couple of helpful hints along the way. So I had to write out the chords and then everything that I want to go along with it, and then also a couple of ideas for where I want the melody to kind of be heading through. So that's where this piece started. And then yesterday, I decided it would just be better, since again I don't have a ton of time, to also just write this out. So I just thought it would be kind of fun to show you the difference, how the song sounds as I play it ad lib, improvised basically, and what also happens when you actually make concrete ideas. A lot of this is going to sound the same. Ideally, I have a vision, and I want that vision to easily manifest itself, which is again why I've really a lot of the music I write starts off this way, and then you can see how I can shape it a little bit better through making decisions. So one other thing about this is, although I haven't played this piece yet today, because I've gone through this process of now also writing it out, I have an even clearer vision of how it should be. So on the page here, I expect it to be a little bit closer than usual. I don't know how far I'll go in this first half here, but there's usually a point where my notes and my memory don't always perfectly align with each other. So either I'll make a mistake or I'll have to repeat something or something along those ways, just in a small way. This is slightly a practice session, not necessarily a performance. So here is what I have for now. I don't know if this title will stick as usual, but I have it called Communion Meditation Number 1. So here is just the beginning of this. Like I said, I'll try and play to a point where I feel that I can show you the difference between that and the written out version. Right off the bat, I played an extra note that I wasn't really anticipating. That comes through practice. pretty good stopping point. So I'm about a third or close to halfway through this piece here. And so every once in a while I put that melody in the wrong place. I played it too high, and I wanted it down an octave. And there's a lot of times that my left hand is just, it's a little bit clueless. And some of that has to do with just the fact that I'm actually just a little bit what I'd maybe describe as rusty, especially when it comes to just reading off of chords. Something I did a lot more when I had a lot more time just to play around. And I don't have that kind of time right now in my life. It will definitely come back at some point. So I'm not worried about it. I do miss it, but it's just where I'm at in life, and that's okay. So that's also a good reason why I ended up writing this out, because this is my first chance to getting to do this, and I do want to do this stuff, like on a regular basis, whether it's at lots of churches or my own church or whatever the case is. I want to be doing this more, so I want to make sure that I put my best foot forward. And so I just really felt, as after I kind of penned this stuff down and seeing how the piece wasn't always manifesting the way I want it to, I needed to write it down. So I did write it down, and although this is a 5-minute piece, I always think it's kind of funny. There's only 62 full measures of written music here. It still took me a couple hours to write out, but again, it actually saves me other time, like in time of actual preparation. I can now be like, oh, I'm struggling right here, or something along those lines. So yeah, I just wrote this out yesterday, but I think you'll hear a pretty big difference, just at least in terms of the actual mastery of the piece, or whatever. So anyways, here is the written out version. It should sound really similar off the bat, but as that left hand gets a little bit more busy, I was able to come up with choices as opposed to just really, really basic right. Even just the very first time that it comes in, I was able to add in a color note that I hadn't been able to think about previously. Just that one extra note in there can really make some changes. Just again, it has more to do with color. It's not something that the people during communion care about or anything like that, but it's just as an artist, it's something that I like to have in there for my own what I'm sharing. So here is the written out version of communion meditation number 1. Perfect, is it? I was able to add that in. That was fun. I'll stop there. That got us through about 30 measures, which technically is literally half of the written out piece. So again, you can, if you really kind of play this back and forth, you'll probably hear some major differences. But a lot of it just has to do with the fact that I'm literally playing one version just a little bit better. Yeah, that is just kind of the difference between the two of those. One of them is really freeing because I have all these, this is exactly what I want to have on the page type material. And yet also when I go about composing it, like I am asking myself, like, what do I want, right? So it's a really interesting, very, very different approach to any performance, and there's not one that's better than the other. I really wish that I could just off the cuff do either one at any time, and they're both really, really beautiful, and they both really can produce some really great stuff. I'm really happy with first of all how I was able to record this, or sorry, write this out, and I was able to get creative enough with some of those things that there were times that I was able to add in things that as I'm reading through the chords, I wasn't able to think about. Now, the more I play this sort of stuff, I'm always going to be open to this. So it's just it's just part of my process, and it's a really, really fun thing. And I was just really glad that A, I got the chance to do this, and B, I was able to actually get down and pen something out. It's been fun to do. I haven't been able to do that very much over the last year, pretty much. Just I was pretty consumed if I had time to work on the COVID Sonata, which I do hope to release to you guys at some point. Some of that I am waiting a little bit on my piano. It does need some attention. It's a wooden instrument, and the weather has been wild this year. And so, I have some sticky keys like this one for sure. And that's a pretty main key that I'd actually be using. It's a little bit out of tune, and I don't want to tune it if I'm moving the piano in a couple of weeks. So it's just kind of on the just on the waiting list as things need to progress. So these are things that I would have taken care of in January. That was kind of my plan, even in December, and things started shifting there. So again, just thank you for your patience, and I look forward to performing this. You can probably catch it online at St. Andrews of Omaha. Their church service is at 10, and this would probably be happening a little after 10:30 in the morning if you want to catch it on YouTube or something like that. I'm hoping to ask the sound engineer if I can grab video from that in one way or another. I assume he gets a full recording of it, so if he does, then that's even better, and maybe I can share the actual performance of this piece with you guys as well. So I look forward to this Sunday for myself, and if you guys can catch it, that's fantastic, and thank you for watching.